Hey guys, just wanted to say thank you so much for checking on my video. This first video I thought would be a good idea for me to lay out exactly what my thoughts were about the Thriftstore Thruhiker and why it's important for me to give you a video, and hopefully this will help you navigate some of the ideas or some of the points that I'm trying to make with this whole thing. The first thing that I think is important about the Thriftstore Thruhiker is making sure that we're being resourceful, that we're being thankful for the things that are given to us, and being patient. So, I think really, especially in the United States, but as well as other countries in the world, in our generation, we get so quickly attached to wanting something so fast that we need it immediately, that we need to order from Amazon, that we need to ship to our day in a 2 days period. And so part of the hunt of this whole thing is finding something unexpected, or finding something that you've been waiting for a week or a month, finding the thing that maybe actually worked better than what you would have thought had you just clicked on it with a button. So I want to bring the thrill of the hunt, going to flea markets, going to garage sales, going to thrift stores, to find things that when you put your kit together you have made. It's been a journey for you. The next is to upcycle and reduce waste. I think the current way that we're moving, especially with a lot of the videos that I see on YouTube, and especially with the ultralight backpacking experience, is that everything is about very expensive equipment, something that you must have, that you need to buy brand new, that is the most efficient, the most new age. And a lot of times I feel like the amount of weight saved for the amount of money spent is just unbelievably ridiculous. And so I wanted to talk about upcycling and recycling. We want to enjoy the woods, we want to enjoy the forest, we want to be able to hug trees, and it's a little bit insane to me that to do that we feel like we've got to spend hundreds of dollars, as well as go and buy a bunch of new products that are also contributing to global climate change and throwing plastics into the ocean and things of that nature. So if we can upcycle and recycle by using secondhand goods, I think that we are sticking to the true nature of why it is that we're hiking, why we're using the materials that we're using. So, a lot of times that we're shopping for branding, I think, especially people that haven't been out camping a lot, they're looking for a specific brand. Is this a Smart Roll? Is this a North Face? Is this what have you? And I think less so of being brand shoppers. We should be more aware of material shoppers. So, I'm looking for a wool. Maybe I'm not necessarily for a branded Smart Wool, or something that is specifically made for hiking, but I know that nylon is a good material for wicking moisture, and therefore I want to use this material. And so I want to teach you the types of materials that are out there, so that way you can start to put together your kit in a way that is smart and cheap, and also thinking about why you're using a product, not just telling you that you need to use that product, that are made to be broken. Backpacks that are made for ultralight backpack camping that will only last you a couple thousand miles before they disintegrate. There is something to be said about ultralight backpacking, but I think it shows more about what our society is like, buying things so that we can throw them away a year into the future, as opposed to finding value in products and modifying them to our liking to make sure that quality product is going to be with us for a decade or more. The next thing is supporting our local businesses and local products. So there is a lot of course, national brands that make wonderful gear, but a lot of thrift stores are not-for-profit organizations that are supporting a local community entity. You may find that the money that you're spending at these locations is going to a great cause. Education, or there's a few that I like to shop in here in Colorado that are there for environmental protection. So by supporting these local businesses, you're putting the money into the hands of organizations that are actually actively making a change in their communities, as opposed to Amazon or Walmart or some other online retailer that may not have an investment in your local community and may not have an investment in the things that you find important. The next thing is to teach you how to fix items. So a lot of this is going to be buying secondhand goods that are still quality and modifying them to our liking, or fixing them if they are broken. Again, with our society that is so planned obsolete, we don't do a very good job of things like darning socks, or re-waterproofing an item, or fixing a patch or a hole, a lot of times the first instinct is to just throw that out and get rid of it, even though it's a very quality product. And so the first thing is buying these products so that we can fix them for pennies on the dollar is A, going to save you a lot of money, B, is going to help reduce a lot of waste, and C, is going to teach you the ins and the outs of that product that you own. Because on trail, it may be very important for you to have the skill set to fix that if you're out in the middle of the woods, hundreds of miles from the next place that you could purchase a new item. So by knowing the ins and the outs of that product, ultimately on trail, you're going to save yourself a lot of grief. Next reason I wanted to start this is I want to teach you how to save more money on your products that you're purchasing, to leave you more money to spend money where it's necessary on products that are maybe sustainably sourced, maybe green, maybe from a local organization. I mean, ultimately, a lot of times those products new are going to cost more money. And so being able to save yourself a couple $100s here and there as opposed to buying a brand new tent, let's say, you now can spend a little bit more money on a food source. Let's say that there's a local cottage industry that is making, backpacker meals or something of that nature. You now have a little bit more money knowing that that could be organic, that's sustainably sourced, that packaging is eco-friendly, and ultimately leading to a more green hiking experience. If we're a hiker, having a pack that is a few years old, having equipment that you've modified or customized yourself, that projects a level of authenticity that going out and spending thousands of dollars on something brand new doesn't necessarily project. And especially if you're new to the hiking world, you don't want to be that person who shows up with all the high-tech gadgets. Even if this is your first time going out, you want to show up what a real hiker would have. The reason I wanted to touch base with this, especially with thrift stores, is that it allows you the opportunity to travel in a way that is brand new and cheap. So what I'm trying to say is that, let's say I'm traveling to Colorado to do a thru hike. I can pay the $50 or $60 or $70 it is to ship all of my gear with me, or I can learn to adapt in a new place. So as opposed to paying for that baggage to get there, I can bring my necessities on a carry-on, fly to a new place, and if I teach you what type of clothing to look for, what type of gear that there is available to you, how to modify that gear very quickly and efficiently, you can then purchase those items at that local organization, thrift store, keeping them in business as well as saving yourself the cost of transporting those goods. My wife and I have done this in other countries as well, in Portugal and Spain and Iceland and Germany, traveling to those countries, wanting to keep it inexpensive where we can. Here's a great way for you to travel and not need to ship all of your gear with you. You can quickly and easily modify what's going on around you, and being adaptable, I think, is one of the most important skills for being a thru hiker. Next reason that I took on the moniker of the Thriftstore Thruhiker is talking about applying these principles to our everyday lives. So just with our hiking gear in this particular situation, buying secondhand, discriminating with the type of quality that we're looking for and then modifying it to our own liking is something that I hope applies to you on the trail, but I also hope it applies to you in real life as well. That the next time that you go to click on something on Amazon or buy brand new, you start thinking to yourself, why am I purchasing this item? Is it important that I have it? Am I supporting a sustainable business? Am I supporting a local business? And ultimately, what joy and what happiness, what added value will this product bring to me? And possibly by starting with something like thru hiking and getting our new gear, it'll also apply to our everyday lives. The second to last thing I wanted to talk about was I'm tired as a person that goes on YouTube and really thoroughly enjoys hiker videos, watches them pretty frequently, a gear focus. So again, with Thriftstore Thruhiker personality and moniker, I'm hoping to brand the idea that yes, gear is an important part to a certain extent of your hiking experience, but ultimately it's education. Training yourself on, as I talked about before, the types of materials that you're using, why you're using those materials, educating yourself on cooking outdoors and how to build a fire with less material. It's not just my gear is doing the hiking for me, it's that ultimately I am becoming a better camper, a better outdoors person, and a better thru hiker personally with my skill set, and that the gear is just a vehicle or mechanism to get there, not the other way around. And lastly, there's some great gifts and ancillary benefits of going regularly to a thrift store. I found so many things that I'm not looking for family members that are also into hiking and camping, or just while you're there on a regular basis, you begin stumbling upon things that are very unique and very you. And so I think that's a nice ancillary benefit to that as well. And lastly, I wanted to combine my two loves. I thoroughly enjoy the hunt. I enjoy going to a thrift store, to a flea market, to a garage sale, on Craigslist. There's something very alluring and very exciting about not knowing what it is that you're going to run into, or looking for something for days or weeks and finding something very similar to it. I mean, it's not just a click and there it is and it shows up. It's actually actively something that you've accomplished, you've earned. And for me personally, that is like a rush, as well as through hiking. I love through hiking. So in a way, it helps take that experience and extend it farther. I may only be able to get out on the trail for a week or a weekend or, a few weeks in a season. But because I'm actively looking for this gear, to some degree, I'm extending that, for the time that I am at the thrift store or on Craigslist. And so it brings me joy in a way that isn't just when I'm on the trail, but I'm thinking about the trail when I'm off trail as well. Thanks. I hope that this video is helpful. And as we progress, there's going to be a lot more how-to videos. There's going to be a lot more videos talking about things like how to shelter, how to waterproof a tent, how to fix a hole in the thermarest, how to pack a bag that is unique, and how to modify that bag, even if it's 2 or 3 or 5 years old, to fit your body style and your camping style. And so look forward to those videos. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.